Hello everyone, this is me, Steve, coming up with another video. Today we're going to be reviewing Mob Psycho Season 2. Let's go. The plot for Season 2 of Mob Psycho is Mob goes to school. Mob started getting really sick of Reagan, forcing him to do jobs out of the blue when Mob wanted to hang out with his friends. Here's an example of this in episode 6.
So much work lately, I'd rather not use too much of my power. Mob?
Master, could you handle things on your own today?
Huh?
We've talked about this. I've asked you repeatedly not to summon me on such short notice.
The thing that pisses me off is Reagan doesn't care about Mob's feelings at all. He just only thinks about money and himself. He got what he deserved. Mob quit on him, and now he was screwed for a while until Mob joined back in. But he got what he deserved because he needs to think about others. He can't just think about himself all the time and his money. And that's why it kind of pisses me off, because Mob deserves to be able to make friends and hang out with them. He's still young. He deserves to have fun. But Reagan doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that. All he cares about is the money. He eventually does change, but still, that thing pissed me off and made me not like Reagan. Eventually, Mob kind of quit on Reagan, which made him kind of angry a little bit, but eventually he got over it and got pretty popular and stuff, until basically he was humiliated on a live show, which eventually, even before that, he was wanting a friend, because he never really had real friends, because all the sort of friends he had were kind of so-called customers, basically. Here's Reagan whining like a bitch.
The regulars here are nice, but they're also the type of people who'd fall for pyramid schemes, fake cults, stuff like that. And they all need that certain someone to vent their troubles to that can help relieve their stress and make them feel better. It's basically a gold mine for someone like me. A place where the weak-minded gather.
Reagan, get a load of this one! Just the other day, this really pretty girl started chatting me up, so I walked along with her and she led me to some art exhibit.
An exhibit where a copy of a famous painting was on display. That's a dating scheme. I'll give them some random words of advice. In return, I get their respect. They might be the closest thing I have to real friends.
Mob meant a lot to Reagan. I mean, Reagan might not realize it, but he was the only friend he actually had until he left, because he realized he was all alone now. And the thing is, the only thing he's really doing is just tricking people, and that's what kind of shows in this clip. He's tricking people and using them, and then just throwing them away, which is a douchey thing to do, but you kind of realize that he never had true friends to begin with. The only person that was actually sort of true friend, that was always nice to him and he liked to hang out with, was Mob. But Mob was gone because of his ways of using people. The only real friend that actually understood him was Mob. So eventually Mob and Reagan made up, and now they're friends again, and Mob works there again. But now I doubt he's going to be trying to use Mob out of the blue, because that'll probably cause bigger problems. So in general, I would say that's like the first part of the season. The next part is Claw, the organization, tries to take over the world, and then Shigeo and his friends stop them. I don't know how the government was this week, but he basically took an ass beating, and some little kid saved everyone. And now there's a broccoli tree, which is pretty cool. Let's talk about the characters. The characters are, there's a snot guy that's named Dimple. Looks like a burger, basically. And he's kind of a helper. He just follows Mob around and stuff. And then there's Reagan that says he's a master, but he sucks at basically everything. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of him. Sometimes he does give some helpful advice, but honestly, he's not worth it. Mob's brother is kind of a person that loves his brother and wants to protect him as well. He doesn't want his brother to get angry, because if he gets angry, he's gonna basically destroy the world. Basically, when his brother's in stress, the world, boom, gone, snap out of it there, you know. And then there's some other characters which I can't think of the top of my head in general. Honestly, they're probably not even important. The main person that kind of develops in the story is definitely Reagan. I mean, first he was kind of using Mob and stuff, but eventually you realize he actually cared for him. I mean, later on. like when he didn't have Mob anymore in the office, and kind of realized how precious people are, and realized that sometimes he needs to give time. He can't just do whatever he wants, and he has to appreciate Mob because he has no other people to appreciate, because all the other people just believe in his so-called psychic thing. They don't actually believe in him or know him in general as much as Mob does. So the only person I would say that really develops that much is definitely Reigen. He kind of realizes that it's wrong to treat people like tools. Instead, treat them as somebody. The animation in Mob Psycho Season 2 is amazing as ever. I actually think it might be even better than Season 1, because by the end you kind of see Mob fight the top person at Claw, and he defeats him stuff. But we learn a bit about the top person. We get to learn who he is as a person, as we see in this clip.
What was it you wanted to tell me?
You said that bonding with others is empty and meaningless, but you couldn't be more wrong. No one's born complete. Everybody's lacking something. Helping each other is what gives our lives meaning.
All of you are so myopic and boring. Even among those who happen to be blessed with the gift of ESP, my powers surpass each one. When I came to that realization, it appeared as though the entire world could fit right in the palm of my hand. That was when I was in middle school, the same age you two are now. While I followed my destiny, you both let your minds put a halt to all progress, leaving you to live the same boring, mundane existence as the powerless ones around you.
No. You're the one who's been stuck in the same mindset since middle school. There are far more unique people in this world than you seem to believe, and just as many views and outlooks. No one should be able to place a value on another person's way of life.
Don't give me that moral high ground routine. I have no need to rely on others to make up for any deficiencies I have, because I have the ability to steal, use, and rule as I see fit. My goal in life is to leave a huge mark upon this world, and now is the time for that goal to come to fruition.
So in this clip, we kind of get to see the top guy's true side. He always was the best, and he wants to determine how people live their lives, and he wants to be the most powerful. And because he's more powerful, he kind of got drunk on that, which he thinks he can take over, and he's always going to be the best. And that's why it was very important for Shigeo to take him down a notch, to understand that people are unique in different ways, and some are powerful in areas of mathematical science and other things like that, and some are powerful in strength. Everyone has different abilities and strengths and weaknesses, so it's important to consider all of them, not just consider strength the best. I mean, technically, if you were living in the Stone Age, then yeah, I guess strength would be the best. But I'm talking about more in general as we live in a society. The thing that is really awesome is the fights themselves, because, like, bro, everything gets blown apart. Like, the whole city gets blown apart until it gets repaired somehow. I'm not sure how. I think it's one of the powers one of them has. Yeah, kind of gets in trouble after that. But I mean, he's the one person that gets his ass beat, basically. And the visuals are awesome, though, because, like, the fights between the buildings, everything getting crushed apart. Like, bro, like, that had to take a long time to make, and honestly, I very appreciate all the details added too. It's amazing, just awesome. I'm gonna keep saying it again and again because it's that good. Mood and tone is a bit more serious, I would say. Like, I don't know else how to explain it. It's a bit fun at first, but it kind of gets a bit more serious when Mob leaves Reigen. It makes Reigen go into a downward spiral for a little bit. And it kind of gets a bit sad too, like when we kind of learn about the top dude of Claw's story, basically. What, he was the most powerful because he had all these psychic powers, right? He was the best at everything. So he eventually got convoluted with that much power that he wanted to take over the world for himself. And I mean, they bring out a good message in this one. They bring out a message that we're not special. We're different. And that makes us unique, but we're not special or better than people just because we know something about a subject, or we're good with a subject, and someone else is bad on the subject but better on a different subject. We're all good. We're just not special. I don't know. That's the best way I can explain it in a way. But I don't know if that's much about mood or tone, but I want to add that in because I felt like that might be important. The dub is very good. I'm very happy with the dub. The characters are good. They're the same voice actors. There's no switch up or anything, which is good. And yeah, that's mostly what I have to say for the dub. The opening is really good. It's definitely better than the first one. Really happy about the visuals and the music too. It makes everything pop. And I'll say it looks like you're watching things on drugs. That's the basic gist of it. Because everything is super colorful and stuff. Like, why the fuck am I explaining this? Whatever. It's good. You need to listen to it. Nothing more. Boom, chaka, laka. They also mention masturbation open, which is pretty cool in my books. So I would say it's definitely more like a 9 out of 10. This opening, pretty fire. There's only one con for this TV show. I mean, for at least season 2. I don't know, like, much. I don't think it was a con for season 1, but in season 2, it's definitely a problem. Where are the fucking police? Like, Jesus Christ, there's a man that was about to beat up a kid. I mean, when they're fighting, like, when they're trying to find their parents and stuff. Shigeo, like, he was fucking angry and pissed. And those bad guys, like 2 bad guys, right? And there's one bad guy that was like so like powerful, he was jacked up, you know? And then he tried to fight Shigeo, right? He's more powerful and stuff, but why aren't anyone calling the police? Like, bro, if I saw a guy that was like this fucking huge, like a mega Chad, I would be fucking calling the cops. Like, I would be doing anything possible to save that kid's life. No one seems to give a shit. Seriously, no one seems to give a shit. And I find that funny as hell. Okay, overall, this TV show is 10 out of 10. Nothing passes it. Like, there's nothing much about it. Visuals are awesome. Everything is just perfect. I think this season actually hit it out of the water, which I'm happy with. Good for the season, at least. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like, whatever you really want. Send it to your friends. Thank you for watching. Again.